Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, the final stages of the Damodara Lila. After the demigods were released from their curse by Krishna, the father Nanda Baba came and untied Krishna, and then Yashoda Mai was in a transcendental sulk because she had actually, perhaps we could argue, put Krishna in some sort of danger, but not really, of course. This was the transcendental transactions between the Lord and his pure devotee. But Mother Yashoda was feeling very great separation from Krishna. So she was in her palace, in her room, remained seated on the edge of her bed, staring at the door, waiting for Krishna to open it. But he did not. After dinner, Krishna took Nanda Baba took Krishna and Balaram to the cowshed to oversee the milking of the cows. Especially as this one beautiful white cow, which Nanda Baba would personally milk. So today he showed the two boys how to milk this majestic cow, and he filled a bucket of milk from her. Then gave the milk to the two boys and also to Krishna's friends who were with him. Today was the day of Diwali, and there was to be an evening of festivities. But Nanda Baba, he decided it was wiser to resolve the conflict between mother and son rather than attend the festivities. They headed back to the palace. The ladies informed Yashoda Mai, informed Nanda Baba that Yashoda Mai had not eaten, nor was speaking to anyone, and she was feeling very sad. She was, of course, sad for tying up Krishna, but her sorrow increased 1,000-fold by her son's neglect of her. Nanda Baba embraced his son and placed him on his lap, and he asked Krishna, "Dear boy," you do it.
"Dear boy, these ladies say that your mother is very sad. Will you go in and appease her like a dutiful son?"
Krishna looked up at his father and replied assertively, "No, I will not. From now on, I will always remain with you, father." So the ladies asked Krishna,
"If you do not go to your mother, then whose breast will you suckle?"
Krishna was ready with an answer. "I'm a big boy now. I will drink warm milk from the white monarch of my father's cows, just like I did today."
"Then with whom will you play? Who can entertain you in those ways in which your mother is most apt?"
"My father. I will play with my father. He is the empress of the gamesters. And I will play with Balaram as well." Krishna had forgiven Balaram because Balaram related to him that he was forced to go with mother. And if he had stayed behind, Yashoda Mai would not have been able to tie him. Of course, he was overestimating his power in relation to Yashoda Mai's love for Krishna. There was no contest.
"What about your brother's mother, Rohini Devi? Will you go to her?"
"No, will not go to her either. She abandoned me, as a result of which I was shackled all day." When Rohini Devi heard this from Krishna, tears welled up in her eyes. She loved Krishna even more than Balaram. Searching for some way to uproot his stubbornness, she appealed to Krishna's love for his mother.
"Oh, my son, how can you be so heartless and cause your mother such pain? Even Dhruv Maharaj forgave his stepmother, as did Lord Ram. Why can you not find it in your heart to do so?"
The authority of his father's support fueled Krishna's huff. Turning from Rohini Devi to Nanda Baba, Krishna buried his face in his father's loving arms. Nanda Baba embraced Krishna tightly, but he could sense that the boy still longed for the sanctuary of his mother's tender warmth and love. For Krishna, there was no embrace like that of Yashoda Mai. Even though he was certainly enjoying these rare, tender moments with his darling son, being free of any trace of envy, Nanda Baba devised a plan to conjure up Krishna's suppressed affection for his mother. Holding Krishna at arm's length and in the tone of royal proclamation, Nand Baba raised a slightly threatening hand and said,
"Son, say the word and I will give that woman a suitable thrashing. As king of Raj, I cannot tolerate injustice. If a sin is perpetrated by one of my own family, I must act on it, lodge a complaint, and then just see what I will do."
No, Nand Baba's strategy worked like a charm. The very thought of anyone striking his mother obliterated Krishna's huff and brought tears to his eyes. Getting hold of Nand Baba's threatening hand, Krishna shouted, "No, no, you cannot." As a perfect strategist, the monarch unfolded the second phase of the scheme. Appearing to ponder Yashoda Mai's past conduct and her present isolation, Nand Baba said,
"You are right, my son. Someone who put another in mortal danger should not be surprised if fate metes out the same punishment to them."
The ladies of the court gasped. Krishna called out again, "No, that cannot be, never." Krishna was finally unable to tolerate separation from his mother, jumping off his father's lap, which delighted Nand Baba, and frantically crying, "Where is my mother? I have to go there. Where is she?" Krishna ran to Rohini for shelter, repeatedly crying, "Where is mother? Where is mother?" Rohini Devi comforted the boy and embracing him, reassured him.
"Do not fret, come with me. I will take you to your mother."
After what seemed like eternity, Yashoda Mai saw her door open cautiously and silently. Only Rohini Devi and Krishna were so bold. It was both. As soon as Krishna saw his mother, through his tears, Krishna ran, weeping to Yashoda Mai, climbing up onto her lap and wrapping his arms around her neck. The aggregate of all happiness in the world, when multiplied 1,000,000 times, could not match a drop of the ecstasy that Yashoda Mai felt with Krishna in her arms. And similarly, if the aggregate of all the world, of the love in the world was multiplied 1,000,000 times, it could not match a drop of the love that Krishna felt from Yashoda Mai's embrace. So this is the reconciliation masterminded by Nanda Baba between Yashoda Mai and Krishna. Holding each other heart to heart, they both felt complete for each other. Each was a half of the whole that was their union. So they were in halves. They were not together, not, if you like, complete, but when they're together, both halves become the whole. Rohini Devi reminds Yashoda Mai that Krishna must still be hungry as he has missed several meals. And when Yashoda Mai heard the words, "Will you not feed your son?" she immediately came to external consciousness. Like a dutiful mother, she pleased Krishna with her breast milk. Rohini Devi had the dining table set by the maidservants in the privacy of Yashoda Mai's quarters and said to Yashoda Mai,
"Now you must dine with your son, for he has been picking at his dinner without your presence."
Hearing these words, Yashoda Mai finally rose to her feet with Krishna still in her arms and took a seat at the table. Balaram also came rushing to Yashoda Mai, and the queen embraced him with her free arm. For each morsel that Krishna ate from her blessed hand, Yashoda Mai would eat an equal amount. Krishna said, "Mother, eat more."
"If you eat more, I will match you."
Krishna was won over. However, Yashoda Mai could hardly face her husband. She also feared the censure of the villagers. However, right now, those fears had to be put aside in order to serve Krishna. Krishna was tired. Balaram and Rohini took their leave, and Yashoda Mai lovingly held Krishna in her arms for some time. Then she placed him in the same bed from which he rose that morning. Krishna asked his mother to tell him a story. She told him the story of Dhruv, which Krishna, especially when Narad advised the little boy And then gradually Krishna fell asleep. Krishna told the story of Dhruv. Because Dhruv Maharaj advised Narad Muni advised Dhruv, who was very upset. He had been pushed off the lap of his father, who was the king, by his stepmother. And his stepmother told him, you should pray so that in your next life, you take birth from my womb, and then you can sit on the father's lap. Otherwise, get off his lap. And as a Kshatriya, this 5-year-old boy became very angry. And he took a resolution. Yes, I will worship the Lord, and I will get a kingdom which is greater than my, was it grandfather or great-grandfather? Lord Brahma. And when he was on his way to do this tapasya, he met Narad Muni. And Narad Muni tried to advise him, you're a little boy, go and play. Why are you so serious about such a small insult? But the boy was very determined. And Narad Muni saw that, and he initiated him into the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he advised him, okay, if you want to achieve the Supreme Lord, you can chant this mantra and do some tapasya. And Dhruv Maharaj, within 6 months, had darshan of the Supreme Lord. So this is again, Narad Muni, so powerful, such an incredible spiritual master. For 3 days, Yashoda Mai remained in her chambers, afraid to appear before the king. At the start of breakfast on the 4th day, Nand Baba requested his son.
My boy, your mother is sulking and has thus deprived us of her excellent services. Please go to her, and only in the way that you know how. Ask her to once again grace us with her presence. We miss her terribly.
Krishna immediately went to fetch Yashoda Mai. And soon after he emerged with her, Yashoda Mai's face was flushed with embarrassment. But Nand Baba didn't say anything negative to her. Concluding that her pain in days of exile was sufficient punishment, he said,
O goddess, whose glories are sung throughout this land and beyond, or you who are maternal affection personified, although we have eaten excellent preparations in the last 3 days, without the touch of your lotus hand, even the best food has not satisfied us. No matter what Rohini Devi cooks, your whimsical son will not eat because he has not been served by you. Please save him from wasting away and thus save us all who live only for him.
Yashoda Mai's eyes welled with tears, her heart flooded with bliss, and symptoms of ecstasy danced in every limb of her body. In the days following the reconciliation of this divine family, the Brijabasis continued to give moral support to both Queen and her darling son. The ladies hungered to help heal the wounds caused to both Yashoda Mai and Krishna from recent events. They would be like honeybees attracted to Krishna and resist his irresistible sweetness, his smile, his features, his speech, everything indescribably attractive to the senses, mind, and heart. Everything that he was or did was a novel. It was intoxicant, and every moment with Krishna was a festival of indescribable joy. Just as he completely mesmerized the Brijabasis, Krishna was also completely mesmerized by them. Yashoda Damodara ki jai, Kartik Mas ki jai, Damodara Mas ki jai. So I think that's it. So yes, that's the pastime of Yashoda Mai and Krishna, one of the most amazing pastimes. Any comments, any questions by anybody? Okay, we can go to the missing